Hello. Um,
Hello.
Firstly, I would like to welcome Graziella to my podcast, VIDA Podcast, and it's a pleasure to have you here. And before we dive into the questions, could you please introduce yourself? Talk a little bit, about you and how did you get to family constellations? And then we will dive into the topic that we are going to talk about. Please.
Yes, hello, Fernanda. Thank you for your invitation. I'm very happy to be here with you. We know each other from, I think, about 5 years ago.
Yes.
And it's also our second meeting on Zoom. It's the second invitation that I have from you. Thank you very much. And thank you for the honor. And hello to everybody. Yes, my name is Graziella Freni. I was born in Germany. My parents come from Sicily. And my mother comes from this place where I'm now. During the summer holidays, we stay here in Sicily, in Alume di Roccalomera, nearby Taormina, near the Etna. And I did all my school and all my school education in Germany. And when I was 20 years old, I went to Italy to study medicine.
Hmm.
And then afterwards, I moved from Milano to Sicily, where I lived for quite 40 years. While I was living here, it's the little village of my mother. She comes from this place. It's about 450 people who live in this place, and 80% are all um, connected to the family of my mother. And here I could see that you can know about the family destinies, starting from your ancestors, going to the last generation, to the little one. And here I could really experiment how some issues in families will always repeat. And this was quite fascinating because I thought only because you are part of a family, it's like there is a family destination and family destiny that brings you to a destination that you are not aware about. And I said, how is it possible that you follow? Also, I was born in Germany, I lived in Germany, I had a totally different education, but you are part of something, it seems to be bigger than you and bigger than your own decision. And this was the reason why I started with family constellation. My son, he was 8 years old. I have three sons. And my eldest one, he was 8. And he had an accident with his bicycle and he fell down 8 meters from a bridge here in the village. And he had several injuries, but it was okay. After some months, everything was fine. But I could see that he started having little accidents from the very beginning. He was born with a cesarean and they cut him in the head during the surgery.
Hmm.
And then he started having this little accidents who became the more and the more dangerous until when he was 8, he fall down the bridge. He fell down the bridge. And so I could understand there is something systemic about it.
Hmm.
Like something is going on, and I thought in my family, that makes it that my son goes on from accident to accident.
Hmm.
And the systemic vision, I had it till I was only 14 years old while I was living in Germany, because I used to be part of a group whose teachers were students from Erich Fromm. And
Hmm.
there I had the first connection to psychology. And I could understand in that situation that I had really a systemic vision
Hmm.
about family. Now, I could understand that my mother took her family system from Sicily to Germany, substituting me and my sister for her sisters, confusing my father for her father,
Hmm.
and so not for the husband, but for the father. I could see this kind of switch that she made, not aware that she was living in a totally different environment.
Hmm.
She took the system from Sicily to Germany. And this systemic view was the one who allowed me to see the accidents of my son. with another from another perspective. And I could say, here's something is going on. I don't understand what. I called my sister. She lived in Germany, and she lives in Germany, in Munich. And she told me, here there is somebody saying the same thing as you say. His name is Bert Hellinger, and he knows how to resolve it. And he has a method. It's called family constellation. And I said, that's it. It's exactly what I feel. We are part of a constellation. Everybody has his place in this family constellation. And only because you are part of this family, you are part of an energetic field that we call the morphogenetic field. And that's the reason why you can be busy with your life and you can have objectives and dreams and achievements, but you will never leave behind your family system.
Mm-hmm.
And so I arrived in 98 at my first family constellation in Munich. In 2001, I was in Rome, and there I met Bert Hellinger.
Mm-hmm.
In 2003, I met Sophie Hellinger. In 2008, I started my formation with Bert. And in 2009, I became his translator until his death. And I continued to work for the Hellinger Schule and for the teachers of the Hellinger Schule and for Sophie Hellinger till 2020. And
Mm-hmm.
in the meanwhile, then I did my own work with the twin constellations.
Wow. Now, it takes me directly to my next question. So many people come to family constellation looking for answers in their family history. Yeah, like what you're saying. Like I could see that there was something, like we can see, but we normally focus on our family system. Yeah, something from mom, something from my ancestors, something from dad. But your work specific, it invites us to look earlier, yeah, to our first relationships in the womb. Yeah. So like
Yeah.
for like before the family system. So what inspire you to look there?
Yeah. I could see that while I was doing my first family constellation,
Hmm.
I was able to confirm something that I had observed in life. I could see people behave in a special way.
Hmm.
Also, if their reason, brain, cortex tell them, don't do this. And it was astonishing to see how your body perceives things and live a reality while your brain, no, your cortex, is doing something totally different.
Hmm.
So, for example, in my first family constellation in 98, I put my son, 8 years old, and he escaped death during that terrible accident. I put him next to my brother. My brother he died during the process of giving birth. My mother lost him during that process. So he would be 2 years elder than me.
Hmm.
And I never knew him, but I put my son next to my brother. And I was totally happy to see them together. I was about 2 meters far from them. And I was so happy to see them together. For my body, for my perception, for my feeling, it
Hmm.
was totally okay that my 8-year-old son, it was a representative for him,
Hmm.
stood next to my dead brother. So my living son next to my dead brother, and I was happy to see them together. And when the family constellator asked me, who is who? And I said, this is my son. And he said, is he dead? He said, no. I said, and who is he? He's my brother. Is he dead? Yes, he died 2 years before me while he was in the act of giving birth. And I said, oh, so you put your living son next to your dead brother. And there I could see, I said, oh, the family constellator, he is totally right. How could I do this? And I started panicking. And then the family constellator took my brother and put it near me. And then my son was standing 2 meters far away. And it was really only one movement that brought order in the family constellation. And my question was, how is it possible that we are not aware what the order in family is? How is it possible that I can feel myself like I'm not on the same level as my husband, but I feel smaller
Mm-hmm.
than him? I'm a a teenager next to him who's a grown man, an adult. How is it possible that I feel that my son is elder than me when my brain, no, my reason should tell me, no, your son is a little boy. He is not elder than you. It's not possible to be. So how is it possible that my body can perceive something that is totally against nature
Mm-hmm.
and against the order in nature? And this kind of first impression that I had during family constellation, I could continue to observe it, not from 98 till I met Bert and all the family, the seminars and workshops that I did with Bert. Afterwards, I saw that everyone was living a body reality that was not able to connect to the reality that is in our environment around us, that we were not able to understand what are we living. And I could also see that my colleagues and also the other people who went to family constellation always remained stuck in the issue of the family.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a murder? Is there a war? Is there an illegitimate child? Is there abuse? Is there violence? And so on. I was totally uninterested in the issue of the family. I was totally fixed on the body movement. I said, how is it possible? I come from Sicily and go to the workshop of Bert Hellinger. This means I'm able to move.
Mm-hmm.
Able to move from Alume to Catania, and then I take the plane, and then arrive in Munich, and in Munich I take the railway, and then I arrive in the workshop of Bert. How is it possible that I'm able to move? I'm able to decide of my money, of my time, of my resources. And then when I'm family constellation, I'm not able to move 2 meters towards my son or my husband. So if I would not be able to move, I would not move. But I'm able to move. But in some situation, in some relation, in some relationship, I'm not able to move. So I was not interested. What is the program in the body that
Mm-hmm.
does not allow you to move yourself? What is going on in the body? Because it is not only happening to me, it is happening to everybody who does family constellation. He stuck and the body does not move. And so I said, if it would be the context of a family, it would be my special education, my history, my family story. Okay, I could understand it, but we are too much. Too much people are not moving. There must be something natural, some natural law, something due to the organization of the body, some natural physic, biologic, chemical law
Mm-hmm.
that makes the body not move. And I was searching for this answer. What happens, what body program, and when did this body program entered in my body? And it must enter in a situation before I had a brain.
Mm-hmm.
Because through my brain, I must be able to understand this is my husband and I'm next to him. But my body stopped moving before. And
Mm-hmm.
now it's reproducing an interrupted movement. For me, it was totally clear. Something happened before the brain was developed. And while I was studying medicine in Germany, in Italy, I did only 4 semesters. Then I abandoned medicine and studied language. So I'm not a doctor, I'm not a psychologist. But the little um, experience that I had with anatomy and so on, I knew that the brain develops in several steps. and that these steps are due to our evolution of mankind on Earth. And so that we have the stem brain that developed 350 million years ago. And then we have the limbic system that developed 250 million years ago. And then we have the cortex who developed only 8 million years ago. And I said, oh, that's it. Maybe something happened in the womb before the cortex could work. And through the work of Austerman, that I knew about the work of Austerman only in 2008, that he was studying the issue of twins, of the vanishing twins syndrome. He called it vanishing twins syndrome. I heard about his work and I could understand I had twins and I lost that in the womb. And there I understood, oh, there it starts that your body has interrupted movement. And outside in life, it only reproduces this interruption. For me, it was totally clear. And so I started exploring and observing what happens in the womb. And to do this, I use this kind of veil under the one which we put the people and we work with it. And so all my observation arrived. Yes.
Yeah, that's amazing. So, like, if someone that came, that have never heard about your method, do you call Freni Method? Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I registered it like Freni Method.
Yeah. So, if we were to explain to someone that have never seen your work, comparing to family constellation, how would you differ one from the other?
Yeah. So it's very easy to look at family constellation because it's very good structure. There's a structure in it. So we have something that happened. We have people involved in this event. The people normally divide in different parties. Part one, for example, murder and victim. Part two, victim. Or part one, biological father, and part two, illegitimate child. And sometimes we have a third party, that is the public opinion or institution. For example, if we have a war, we have the soldier and his victim, but we have the nation that declared war. And so it's not a family issue, but it's a bigger issue that involves much more. But it's always something happened, people remained involved in this happening, and then there are different parties, and there starts a dynamic within the parties, and this dynamic will be transmitted to the further generations. So during family constellation, we try the client, then we start to see the parents, the grandparents, the great-grandparents, and we see where did this dynamic start. But it's really very clear because this is generation through generation through generation. And you are able, remaining in this order from client, his parents, his grandparents, his great-grandparents, you are able to see where did it start. And what we do in family constellation, what we do normally in constellation, also in my constellation, is we don't need to have the view that we can change something. We cannot change what happened. We can only change the view, the perspective that we have on that what happened. It's very important that the client and also the family constellator is not searching a solution. It's only this recognizing what happened. And now that I know what happened, including the excluded, I can stay in my position in this family. I can say from this family has this kind of story. and I'm part of it.
Mm-hmm.
I will not try to work on creating order or creating a solution in my family, or I can change nothing. I can only open my more information about it and say,
Mm-hmm.
now I recognize, and this is my place in this family.
Mm-hmm.
In my twin work, we don't work with the story of the family, but we work with the body issue, with the body pattern. So when the in your body starts this interrupted movement, and with whom? So we only look at the body and the body pattern that and the body matrix that will start to form.
Mm-hmm.
So it is like I'm in my amniotic sac, my twin is in the other amniotic sac, and I can perceive him because I'm able to look through the
Mm-hmm.
amniotic sac, but I'm not able to go through. So also if I see my twin on the other side, my body will always remain stuck herein.
Mm-hmm.
He cannot go out of here. The amniotic sac is the only space in the whole universe that you cannot leave without dying. You can leave it only when you will be born. So
Mm-hmm.
that means the only moment where your body is not able to achieve what he wants to achieve is in the womb. And the first interrupted movement starts here.
Mm-hmm.
So our body has, you can say it's like it has a map of the space he were in. And in the space, there were also other organisms, embryonal organisms, who were part of the space and part of the uterus of your mother. So you have your system in your amniotic sac, and then you have other amniotic sacs, and you have the womb from of your mother. And so while you're in the womb, you experience that in your space, you have others there, and they become for the body like fixed points. I know that on the left side there is a big brother, behind me there's a little brother, on the left there is a sister, and so on. My body collects the information about this space
Mm-hmm.
around me, and all the information about the people enter my body. So if I know your name, I know where you're from, it's only through my brain. But to become a relationship, it has to go through the sensorial organs. And
Mm-hmm.
this means in my body, I have a picture of Fernanda. In my ears, I have your voice registered. So also if I cannot see you, but if I hear your voice, I recognize you. You take place, you take space in my body. And
Mm-hmm.
that's how the twin system works. Our twins have space in my body. And my body memories knows exactly the relationship I had with them.
Mm-hmm.
When I'm born, all the nerve systems and all the perception, body perception, is full of this relationship. People outside become only substitutes.
Mm-hmm.
If they are able to fix one relationship that I had before with a twin, I will. Now, first, I had my twin and the relationship outside. But I know this is a person, I know his name, I know where he come from. But to become a relationship, he will use something that is in my body and work on this nerve system and on this perception.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'm not able to distinguish between my twin, who is the main pattern, and the substitute that I met in life. And I look what is going on in the body, because outside in life, we can always find solution in every relationship. There is no interrupted movement. Also, if I understand, it's impossible to continue to stay with my partner, my brain is able to explain why it's not possible to continue. So it's not an interrupted movement. It's a decision that I make why it's better for me not to stay with him. And
Mhm.
so I will not bring some unresolved problems with me during life. It
Mhm.
ends there. In the womb, we had not this quality
Mhm.
because we are not able to understand they go to die. We have the feeling they disappear and they abandoned us and they left us behind. We did something wrong. We are guilty of something. We are punished. And so this kind of unresolved struggling, we transfer it to the substitute outside.
Mhm.
And we treat the substitute like the twin that disappeared. So I'm not able to move to him like I'm still in my amniotic sac, to move in that space and has a map of that space. And we
Mhm.
continue to use that map outside. It's like you have a Google map of Rome and you use it in Paris.
Mhm.
And then you have problems to stay in Paris with the relationships outside because you're unaware that you did not adjourn your map.
Mhm.
We can say the twin work is talking about space, fixed point in the space due to the relationship we have to the twins, and our impossibility to understand there are two different fields where we are moving.
Mhm.
One was the morphogenetic twin field, and one is the morphogenetic family field, or the field that we create outside with other person.
Yeah, that's fun. I think it's fascinating. I remember when I first met you, you said about 5 years ago, I think it's when I did the training with you, isn't it?
Yeah,
And but I remember the first contact I had with with your
this
method,
work.
I was like, what? Is there something before the family system? And I remember my first contact, I said, no, I need to learn more about constellation and then I will go back. And I remember that I finished my training and then I came to do your training, and it was just so special. And I think it's like I said, fascinating how you bring to us a perspective that, there's something before, that when we look into what happened before we came, before we were born, it can make other situations that we look into the family system seem a little bit, can I say, lighter or easier to comprehend?
Yes, very, very much. So, for example, what we always do in family constellation, we talk about my place in my family system.
Mm-hmm.
And to find my place, I have to understand who belongs and the order,
Yeah.
and to put myself in the order. Yeah. In the womb, we start with a totally different basic body feeling.
Mm-hmm.
Because at the beginning, you are part of something and you're connected to something, and you can say it's the paradise. It's
Yeah.
like paradise because your body feels like it's paradise. Paradise is a sensorial perception.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody, when I say paradise, know what it means because he experienced it. We experienced it at the beginning in the womb. I'm part of something that is bigger, a bigger thing, and I'm part of it. I'm totally connected to it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm this bigger thing.
Yeah.
Then I will meet my first twin, who is the mirror twin, who is like me. And there I understand it's me and the others.
Mm-hmm.
That's the first time that I understand I am. At the beginning, this paradise, you're really part of something, and there is really no individualism.
Mm-hmm.
Only when you meet your mirror twin, you understand, oh, it's me and all this around me. So
Yeah.
the feeling, the consciousness of being who I am. And the
Mm-hmm.
body identity is forming there. But in the womb, in the amniotic sac, you at the beginning, you have your space. That means every body cell that is starting to develop takes space. And this inner space of your body cells, it's what you are.
Mm-hmm.
I am because my body is, because every cell of my body is. And it's a totally natural way of being.
Mm-hmm.
It's really, I am. My body needs no permission, no understanding. It's totally natural that I am. Through every body cell that is forming and developing, I am. From this space that I occupy in my amniotic sac, I'm able to see the others in their space.
Mm-hmm.
And they are totally natural there. Only afterwards, I will see, oh, there is a real system. Look how much there are. And there are different body cells, body mass, bigger one, little one. And then I see my mirror twin who is like me. I say, oh, I'm like him. So he has his place herein. He belongs here. So I also belong because I'm like him.
Mm-hmm.
And there I take my place, and take my place in the order from the biggest to the little one.
Mm-hmm.
In family constellation, we lost the part where I'm naturally I am. In family, in family constellation, we need to take our space, that is my space, in this family. It does not need permission.
Yeah.
Because at the moment where I start searching my place and my belonging to that family, I need the permission of somebody. I
Mm-hmm.
need that somebody confirms me. It can be that nobody in the family say, you belong here. It can happen that my mother says, no, you are not my first and you are not my last. You do not belong here. So in family constellation, we always start working with a client who is in deficit, who is who has the necessity of being recognized, belonging, a
Mm-hmm.
permission to be part. But why is he searching permission? Why is he searching where to belong? Because he experienced it before. In a totally natural way. Our body has a totally natural way to say, I am. Every body cell in our body is working for me in a totally natural way. And when we start in family constellation talking about place and belonging, we
Mm-hmm.
are talking with a client who is in difficulty.
Mm-hmm.
If we don't bring him back to the natural understanding of I am, it was totally natural in the space where my body started forming itself. And
Mm-hmm.
this was in the womb and in my amniotic sac. I did not need the permission of nobody. Everybody say knew what it was doing, and it was expanding to his best in the whole volume that it needed and breathing. Every single cell is an universe and it's life. A totally natural way of being, a totally natural understanding of life. We lost it totally because in that space, the body grows very fast
Mm-hmm.
while the amniotic sac and the womb of the mother does not expand in the same rhythm. So I don't have a problem with my bigger brother in the family. I have a problem with my big brother in a little flat, or if I have to have the same room, share the same room with him.
Mm-hmm.
In the womb, we experience that relation is in the body. Body is relation, but body is relation in space. So you have space, body, and relationship who are totally fixed together. So until we have enough room, we have no problem in relationship. The moment where the room gets smaller and smaller and smaller because the body grows, I can feel the danger of having somebody too near.
Mm-hmm.
And in the womb, I experience that relationship can be dangerous. It can be heavy on me. I can remain stuck between the bodies, between my mother and my father. I will translate this body feeling of not having space, of not being able to move, of being blocked. I cannot move myself. I cannot go out of this. I experienced this in the womb, and I transported it in family. For example, a child that is growing, and it's always the same environment, and the parents are always the same. But in the growing process, I will return to the body memory of growing process in the womb. And there I had no place. I was blocked. I could not move. And this is what I will say to my parents. Give me space. I feel blocked in the situation. I want to go out. I have to escape. I cannot breathe. I cannot open my wings. This is all body language. This is the question that I was trying to find an answer, because clients talk about body language.
Mm-hmm.
And when I knew about the twin, I understood we have the wrong frame.
Mm.
For some description that the clients use, we are working in the wrong frame. It's not the family, it's the womb. And we are talking to twin substitutes when we describe our condition, our body perception while we are in family.
Mm-hmm. And when we are seeing, different people trying to work in so many layers in family constellations, and I would say like family layers, different types of issues, would you say if we went back to the womb and look into what happened there, it would make it not easier or a little bit more clear when we look into our relationships in our family system?
So we have to understand the different layers. One is the issue of a family. For example, I have problems to finish my university.
Mm-hmm.
And then I look in the family and see nobody started. Nobody went to university. Everybody started working when they were very young, and they do heavy body work. So
Mm-hmm.
I can have problems to finish my university because in my family, I have no example who I can follow. And it's good to see in your family, work is due to other professions, and
Mm-hmm.
you would be the first. And so you remain uh, stuck in your family history and have
Loyal to
problems
the system.
loyalty to the system. Yes.
Yeah.
So we need to see this kind of thing.
Yeah.
We need to see this kind of things. For example, women who has problem giving birth because the mother, the grandmother, and so on.
Yeah.
It's very important to see this kind of issue. It's very important.
Mm-hmm.
But when we do a lot of family constellation and nothing happens,
Mm-hmm.
then we can look at the twin system and can understand, are we talking about a family issue, history, or are we looking about a body pattern? Body pattern is personal.
Yeah.
So then we have to see what is the last commune indicator. What is he really talking about? So
Mm-hmm.
we can describe a lot of things, and we can use a lot of imagine that we have in our head for something. But
Mm-hmm.
if you bring it back on the last possible denominator, like in math.
Mm-hmm.
So with your brain, you can use a lot of situations, but your body in relationship can do very little things.
Mm-hmm.
A relationship can be nearby, it can be far away, it can be behind you, it can be next to you, it can also be over you. So, but your body, that's it. And if you see family constellation with this kind of perspective, you are able to understand what is the client really talking about.
Mm-hmm.
When he says, I'm stuck, I'm blocked, I cannot move, I feel like I'm um, all the body language that the client uses,
Mm-hmm.
you can give it a try with the space in the womb. And
Yeah.
maybe there you can see it.
Yeah.
The very perfect name of entanglement is the entanglement through the umbilical cord.
Mm-hmm.
It's in the umbilical cord that your twin brothers remain stuck, involved with you, entangled with you.
Yeah.
And this family entanglement is exactly this. I'm not able to go out of all this entanglement that I lived in the womb with my twin brothers. And outside, I will reproduce this disorder. So the order that we had in the womb creates all the disorder outside.
Mm-hmm. Great. Graziella, one question that I have is, does everyone have a twin? Have had a twin?
Yeah, normally we thought at the beginning when we started in Germany was this kind of issue. The first work is from 98. Norbert Meyer wrote the first book. He called it The Complex of Caino, the Cain complex. So it was in the Bible where Cain murdered his brother Abel, and he's talking about the sense of guilty that the surviving brother has his whole life. And then in 2006, Austermann wrote his book about the vanishing twin syndrome, and he talks about the 10% of twins. I wrote my book in 2016, so I had a lot of information more because now it's really circulating on internet, everything that is due to the body and to the body cells and to the stem cells.
Mm-hmm.
And I can say all have vanishing twins. We are all part of a twin system, of a very big twin system
Mm-hmm.
at our beginning. Some people had a good quality in the womb, also this big twin issue, but the quality was good, and so outside they have a good quality of life. Others had really problem in the womb with a bad quality, and
Mm-hmm.
then life outside can become a mess due to the twin issue. But we are all a lone born twin, and we have all this post traumatic surviving disorder. I call it like this.
Mm-hmm. And to learn more about it,
Yeah.
we
You're
can.
invited to learn more about it because we are not aware that all our relationship, uh, twin relationship, and people outside become substitutes for the twin brothers and the twin sisters.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want to hear more about it, follow us.
That's it. Yeah. Now, remember when we did that seminar that we had translated to Portuguese? So mainly the public that participated was they were all from Brazil. We did have a chat about having the training in English, but
Yeah.
I don't even remember what happened, but maybe we didn't have the numbers. I was just wondering if we did have a group, would you be open to do a training in English? And what's the number
English.
of people that you need for a group to start?
So I do this kind of online training
Yeah.
for the part that we can do. I do it in German, in English, in Spanish, and Portuguese,
Mm-hmm.
and now we start with naturally in Italian, and
Mm-hmm.
now we are starting with Russian.
Wow.
And so I work really now in about 12 countries or in 12 nations all over. And we can start it if we don't need a translator.
Mm-hmm.
So if I can speak English, if my English is understandable,
Yeah.
uh, we don't need a big number because the problem was always that we have to have a number for the translation and for the platform. But if we don't need translator, we
Mm-hmm.
don't need a lot of people.
Okay. So what would be the minimum?
The minimum with which I work in Germany was 7, 8 person.
Okay. And
This is the
let's say we get a group, like the people that listen to the podcast or watch the podcast are interested in doing. We do, and I know you have, do you call level one is the online training?
yeah.
And
Yeah,
then you have level
we
two?
are doing we are doing every level online. We normally have
Really?
a part. Yes, we have also a part where we need to stay in connection to experience the body work.
Mm-hmm.
So, for example, I'm going to Argentina and I go to Brazil and I go to Portugal and Spain and
Yeah.
Germany and so on. But normally I go once a year to Argentina, and the people who experience the practical work during that days there,
Yeah.
and then we do the online level, the second online level in through Zoom,
Yeah.
because they know what they have to do.
Yeah. Yeah. And
No,
that's what I was
we are
going to
doing really.
say. If we did have a group, would you come to Australia?
I would come to Australia. Yes,
Yeah,
I would
and
love to enjoy it.
we could always as well, have people from New Zealand coming because it's pretty close.
Yeah, it's
But
close.
yeah,
Yeah,
so it's nice to know that it's something that you could be open to. I think
yeah.
it would be very
But
special to.
we can really start the online Zoom so people can understand if they like this kind of work. Because what is really important in family constellation and in my twin work is that we have to understand we have to say farewell to the trauma, but we remain with our twins for our whole life and we remain with our family system. So I lost my father and my mother, but I will always be their daughter. And so I can say goodbye to all the sorrow, the pain, and the terrible situation that I lived with them.
Hmm.
But I will remain always their daughter, and I can remain with my twin system. I can remain with my family system,
Yeah.
not going to this kind of being alone, loneliness.
Hmm.
And one thing that is very important for who is a therapist is
Hmm.
this kind of mutism that we have inside ourselves. So we are able to talk to people outside and we are able to talk to the clients outside, but we have a interruption of movement of communication. So until we are able to find a substitute, we have the feeling that body cells continue to take oxygen and to function. When we lost the substitute, we become like mute inside. The
Hmm.
body cells do not communicate anymore. And so when I finish some work like this, we are talking, and then you go back home, inside it becomes really like totally silent.
Hmm.
And this silence is very, very dangerous for the therapists because this starts with the twins.
Okay.
And so we have a lot of therapists who are very lonely. Also, they are doing a very good job for their clients, but the communication between client and them is not giving and taking.
Hmm.
But there are in giving and giving. Also, the clients pays you, but it's not the same energy. So your body cells do not take oxygen.
Hmm.
The real the real work of relationship is oxygen. We see it always in family constellation. No? The client does not breathe. And then a representative enters the family constellation and the client breathes.
Yes.
So relationship is oxygen.
Hmm.
But we have parts of our body cells that were able to breathe only with the twins.
Hmm.
And when this communication interrupts, the body cells will not breathe anymore. And this is very dangerous for all the therapeutic work. It's dangerous always if body cells do not take oxygen. But for us therapists who work so much with communication,
Hmm.
not being able to understand that my body stopped communicating, stopped taking oxygen. This is really, really important,
Hmm.
because we underestimate what happens there.
True. Yeah. It's so important to look at our place as a therapist, isn't it? Like,
Yeah,
and the responsibility not that we only have with the client, but we have with ourselves as well.
with ourselves and with our families, because
Mm,
we have so beautiful people who worked so much for all the people around them, and the loneliness remains and this impossibility to communicate
mm,
themselves.
yeah, yeah. Look, for us to finish, I do a VIDA round that it is just a few little questions with short answers. Yeah.
Okay.
So My first one for you is, who was a teacher that changed your life?
My teacher was in elementary school, Frau Blank. In elementary school,
Yeah,
my first teacher, she changed my life.
yeah. Um, what's one book that everyone should read?
One book that everyone should read, I would take The Orders of Love from Bert Hellinger.
Yeah. Where is a place in the world where you feel completely at peace?
I feel really at peace when I'm here in Sicily in the family house with all my children and grandchildren and my daughters-in-law and my husband all around us. It's really, we have a little terrace with wine and the bougainville, and there's the in peace.
Oh. What's one message you hope that people take away from Freni Method?
That it's possible to let go the sorrow and the pain and remain with the connection, remain in connection.
In one word, what does VIDA, life, mean to you?
Yes, life is all this, vida is all this really joy that I feel in my body when I'm looking around me and I see the nature, I see the people, I see really this connection to everybody. Here in Sicily, it's very easy because we have the sea and we have the Etna in eruption,
Hmm.
and we have all this big nature, very strong nature around us, and people who live in connection with it. And this is what I feel like Vida, not living your environment,
Oh, that's
connected to
beautiful.
everything and to everybody.
That's beautiful. Look, I really want to thank you for saying yes to being part of VIDA Conversations, that is my podcast. And I want to just say to everyone, if you're interested in Graziella's work, send me a message. We can look into having a group for the training. And just thank you for all
Thank
your
you.
work.
Thank you for your invitation. I enjoyed it very much. It was really a pleasure to talk again with you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
no, that's awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.